topic list. So basically, this is going to be around 40 hours of training, alright, this developer. So with this, what you're going to do is, alright, introduction to AEM, alright. This is the first thing that I'm going to start again when we start with the classes, alright. Introduction to AEM, right. We are going to see the different versions of AEM. Okay, so what were the enhancements in each version, and what is the current version, and all those information. We're going to see a bit of history of AEM, alright, why AEM evolved, and what are the other CMS tools, and all those things. Right. Then we're also going to discuss the features, right? Whatever we discussed today, we're going to see like what is it, how is it happening exactly, and all those things. Then we are also going to look at the installation and deployment. I'm going to hand you over the jar file. Right, this AEM comes with a license, so this is not something that is available open source and I can download. Right, you need to have the jar. Right, the entire app server gets started when you download that jar. Okay, then I'm going to show you the different modes of operation in AEM. Right, so AEM comes with a touch optimized UI. When I say touch optimized, right, it comes with a responsive authoring framework for the authors. Right, the authors can sit at their homes and do the authoring using any of their touch devices, right? We can use their mobile phones and author. So we're going to see that. I'm going to show you the DAM console, right? How the DAM console actually works and all those things. Okay. So then when you look at the technology stack, it comes with something called as OSGI. Right? We are going to understand in depth what OSGI is. Alright. Then it comes with, for the content storage part, it comes with JCR. Okay, so we are going to see how the architecture of the JCR is, what are the APIs used to manipulate into the JCR and all those things. Okay. Then we are also going to learn Sling, REST, and Sightly. Okay, so Sling is again, it's a REST-based framework, right? When you have content, you need to access that content and display it on a page, correct? So you need a protocol to access the content and display. Right? So this comes with something called as the REST. And for the component building, there's something called as Sightly. Okay, so we are going to do examples, and whatever topics that how I teach here is, whatever topics you have. Okay, I'm going to show you the exercise and I'm going to hand you over the code. Okay, and basically I give you time. For example, I give you time to do it, and if you're stuck with it, we are going to discuss in the subsequent classes. Okay, and every topic has an example here. It's not that I'm running through some theory and just saying this. Okay, and basically when you talk of AEM, it's a list of pages. So all those pages need to have templates, how I can modify the page rendering, right, how I can display the content, how I can use the APIs, all those things I'm going to cover. And then we are also going to cover a few complex components which is going to be a part of any of your websites that you're going to develop in future. Okay, so we are going to see the logo, search component, navigation, dynamic grid. Okay, I think Srini will share this topic list with you. So this is the one that I'm going to. Then we are going to discuss the workflows in detail, right? How I can create a custom workflow, how I can use the existing workflows for my scenarios. We are going to discuss the scenarios, real-time scenarios. Then we are also going to see the mobile websites and responsive design. Okay, and then once we do this, right, from here onwards, start the advanced developer part. Okay, in the advanced developer part, right, so usually whenever you have large-scale teams, right, large-scale development teams, you need to have a subversion, you need to have good build management. Okay, you need to have IDEs, right, like Eclipse and all those things. So we'll see how we can make our entire AEM project work on Eclipse, right? How I can use Maven build tool to do all these things. Okay, so we'll understand Maven in detail, right? And we'll create a project structure and we'll start working on those things. Okay, and then once we do that, right, we would look at OSGI components and annotations, right, how these things can be modified in AEM, right. When I say OSGI, it comes as a collection of bundles. Right. We are slowly going to see what is the advantage of those things, how I can develop my own bundles, what are the things that I can do there. Okay, then the eventing and scheduling, right, I told you that this comes with event handlers, right. You can handle any events and create triggers here. right? So we are going to listen to those OSGI events. We're going to handle the jobs, right? We are going to trigger a replication and all those things, right? Slowly you're going to understand these things. And then we are also going to understand the scheduler, right? Whatever I mentioned here, it's going to be with, see, I believe in explaining with examples. I'll give you a simple example, right? So even in future, when you get any requirement, you have this reusable piece of code wherein you are going to add your custom functionality into that, right? I'm going to give you placeholders, and basically after this training, right, you'll be enabled to work on AEM projects, okay? And then we are also going to see the versioning and observation, all right? I'm going to introduce you to testing, all right? How to JUnit test, right? How to write these JUnit test cases, right? There is EasyMock and PowerMock test case frameworks here, right? User groups and permissions, right? Or how do I take care of the basic admin activities like the deployment and packaging, okay? Then dispatcher is used for the caching, right? We're just going to see this dispatcher part. Configuring the dispatcher comes under AEM, under the admin part. Under the developer part, you'll just understand what all are there in the dispatcher section, okay? And we're also going to see the content migration and periodic importers, right? When you're building AEM, you may have some legacy content management systems that are already there, right? So basically you need to take care of moving that content from the existing system to your AEM. So you need some kind of an importer to import that content, or you need some kind of migration strategies, right? So we are going to discuss all those things. And then we are also going to discuss upgrading from different versions, right? Usually now they're going to use the 5.6. Most of the projects will undergo an upgrade cycle. So how to plan for those things, all right? So this is the developer part. Now say suppose you are interested more into the system administration part, right? Or you are more interested in the infrastructure part. So I have a system administration part wherein whatever the administrator does day to day, right? Automating the package managers, creating and downloading packages, handing it over to the different teams, right? Dev, QA, UAT, production teams. This is taken care by the administrator, right? And then there's something called as a replication agent that they set up, right? When you're activating from author to publish, right? You need to set up the replication agents. So this is the one that is carrying the content from author to publisher. This is done by the system administrator. Then there's something called as reverse replication agent. All right. When the end user enters some form data, how it comes to your AEM, all these things. All right. And then we are, like I told you, administrators are going to optimize the entire content storage. So it's something called as optimize the tar journal, right? So how we are going to do all those things, how we are going to create the configurations, right? These logging ratas, loggers, everything is configured by the system administration team, right? They take care of the user administration and security, okay? And for the security of your website, right, they have a security checklist that Adobe has prescribed, right? We are going to go through the security checklist, right? We are going to see what are the different kinds of configurations, right? And we are going to configure the dispatcher real, all right? When I say dispatcher, it sits in front of your publisher and it's responsible for caching. You don't expose your publisher directly to the end user, you expose it to the dispatcher, right? So it serves all your static request, it caches your static request, and it's used for the load balancing and the performance management. So we are going to configure that, and we're also going to take care of the performance monitoring, all right? Which are the most long-lasting requests? Why is it taking time? How do I monitor the page response time? How do I monitor the component-based timing and all these things? Okay, guys.